Whenever you want, buddy. I'm not. Hope I'm not rushing you. I'm not trying to do that, sir.
We're live. Hello, everybody. Rich is excited today. This this is Peter Palmiotti of Human Art Studios, and this is Making Comics and Art, episode 125. Welcome, everybody. To start off, I'm going to do this. Okay, so I started a thing, and we'll see how it works out. To help other smaller YouTube channels, I posted this 1K club, 1K subscriber club in my Create Our Own Comics group on Facebook, and people posted descriptions to their channels, and there are less than 1,000 subscribers on each of these channels. So this is my way of assisting them, hopefully, if it has any effect at all, in growing their channels. So I've been sort of showing this to people and having their links in my video description down below the video. So if you want to support fellow comic creators, then go down and check out their channels and subscribe and watch a few videos and see what they're all about. I know John's channel is very new, but he's got so many projects. Go check them all out. They're all great people and great channels, and I just want to support everybody. And that's why I have on today Rich Perotta.
That's
hey,
me.
Rich.
Hey, man. How's it going there, buddy?
It's going very well, very well. It just started raining here, so hopefully I won't have any silly brownouts or anything happening. But
This is Great Britain. It rains here all the damn time. So.
I'm. If you didn't know, I'm out in Kentucky now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So it's out in a small town in Kentucky. It's a very different life than New York. Last we saw each other in person, we were both in Brooklyn.
You were. I assisted you as an ink for a short while. It was for a short while. I think I don't know the reason as to why we stopped working together. Maybe I suck. Chances are I did. I was probably not so great at that point, because it was right around the time when I started being under the tutelage of the immortal Keith Williams. And
cool.
Yeah, and because of him, everything. I mean, he stuck, and not that you didn't stick with me, but he stuck with me, and he taught me everything I know now for a couple of years, and then I started getting some freelance at Marvel, and I kept getting more, and it lasted 10 years, and then I stopped for a bit, and then I went to DC Comics for a couple of years, and I was like, okay, I was an inker for the big two. What's next?
Right.
So, that's why I was like, yeah, I've done enough inking to last me a lifetime. I'm going to go to penciling, and what you see here, as a matter of fact, I'll show you. It's going to be a nice segue into what I'm working on. So, ta-da!
Yeah. Let's see if this is better view for people somewhat. I don't know. Either one.
How?
Yeah. I love your work. I've been, it's like you gave me the first issue of your book to check out and read, and I read a portion like we said before we went live. I really love your art, and you said you did everything. So the coloring's great, the art's great, the inking is pretty good too.
It's all right. It's not terrible.
It's not terrible.
I know how to trace something.
So I'm gonna get into it since you brought it up a little bit. I mean,
yes,
I was reluctant to get assistance, but I'm sure like when you're doing a monthly book or thereabouts, like I was working on Aquaman when you were assisting me.
That's
I'm
right.
pretty sure. And
Jim Calipari was the penciler.
Yep. He did great work, and I had a couple of assistants before you, and the reason I stopped is because I'm pretty sure I was coming near to the end of our run there. And from there, I went over to Marvel, and they just gave me. I worked for the X office, which was great, but I never like really inked books there. I inked one book. I did a one shot over Cal Fury with the Force Works character. What's his name? Century. But I did a lot of random pages over a lot of random artists, which was, as an inker, a joy. But I would have liked to ink full books, but it just, nothing was clicking. Me, it's like I'm not the fastest inker, and that's okay. But they wanted 2-3 pages overnight all the time. And so for like 4 years, that's what I did over there.
No, that's not. You see that whole perspective on that's you see, to me, because I was the same way. All right, I was only on a series for a short amount of time. I was inking over Chris Batista when he did his Thunderbolts run,
right,
in 2000s, and Chris was late all the damn time. So it's like we had what I have to do. He had to there were a couple of times when it was like there was another penciler in between or something, and a lot of times we not really. I don't really think it was really Chris's fault. It's just like if there's one thing that's late, everything else gets late as a result. This just as well as I. So
totally.
So it's like if the writer's late, or if he decides to be a diva about things and decides not to show up, then it's like you got to get someone else to come in, write the story, and then that takes forever because you see a lot of people don't understand that a comic book is an assembly line. There's always something that has to be taken care of, and if one thing gums up the works, then everything's going to be late no matter what, and that's where guys like you and I come in.
Yeah.
Because what we do is like we're kind of the unsung heroes, or we were kind of the unsung heroes, because it's like we would preserve whatever deadlines were given. We would have to do 2-3 pages overnight, which in a lot of ways for me, I wound up doing more work than a monthly book. Sometimes I was okay, give me money, I don't mind. I didn't really care at that point. I was too busy being googly-eyed working for Marvel and stuff like that. But,
it's a lot of fun.
It is. And being an inker though, no matter what, I mean, it's like inkers deserve more praise, far more praise than they get. They really do, because I mean, it's like we not only do we save deadlines that we have no other choice but to do, but at the same time, a great inker is going to save mediocre pencils.
Yeah.
And
totally.
You have to be an artist of some caliber in order to be an inker. I mean, because if anybody's seen Chasing, you know what? I've never seen Chasing Amy. I've never seen Chasing Amy at all. And it's like, oh, you're a tracer. And it's like, yeah, or whatever the fuck. It's like, I'm like, oh, wow. That, I still got that. I still got that. But to the point I stopped inking, they're all like, oh, you're a tracer. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's funny. That's the first time I've ever heard that before. Yeah, you're hilarious. Wow, I bet the girls really love you, if you knew what they look like, just like, come on, man. And it's like, it just, after a while, it just gets stupid because, guys like you and guys like me, well, more guys like you, are the reasons why a lot of books got out on time.
Yeah. Especially that sort of era of Marvel.
Oh God!
Is when they had like multiple artists and multiple inkers and even multiple colorists on books just to get them out on time.
God in heaven, there would be like one penciler, one main inker, and then there's like 5 inkers underneath, and there's like 7 colorists on the bottom. Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah, And I didn't always get credited. I don't know about you, but it's like I know for sure like one X-Men book gave me credit, and that was Uncanny X-Men 360, which I'll never forget.
Nice.
But other than that, it's like, I'm doing 2 or 3 pages on a book. It's like I don't expect to get credit. It's, other editors probably would have thrown my name in, but they were just hammering out books.
Yeah, it's well, I don't know if it's still like that. I can't really say as to why that there was always lateness, but I have to admit, I mean, it one way or another, it kept us in the spotlight in one there is another, because of the fact that you and I were so reliable to take care of what we had to do, and that's the reason why we kept on getting work.
Yeah.
So it's the stuff that you and I do, Pete, the stuff that you and I did for Marvel, no matter what anybody says or thinks or does, we did it. We got in.
Yeah.
We got in. I got in as an intern at New York City College of Technology in Brooklyn. That's how I got in.
Right.
And I didn't waste my opportunity. It's like I'm very happy that I had that opportunity to get in, and I did. I worked in the radio department downstairs. You know where that is.
Yeah.
And I just kept on plugging away, and I kept on doing everything I can to make sure that I would get whatever I could get. And I wound up having a decent career there, But just like you, now you have your own thing that you're doing.
Yep.
And I've been on the indie circuit for about 7-8 years, and it didn't pay as good as Marvel, but I was at a point where it's like I could still afford an apartment in New York while I finished college. And now here I am in England.
Yeah.
And, now I'm just chilling in England right now.
Why the move to England?
Well, I got married. I got married to a lovely British woman.
Congrats.
And thank you. And it's a lot of fun. And I moved here. We got married on Halloween.
Nice.
I know, nice. I'm awesome. And we got married on Halloween, and we had to get the visa papers. And what happened was that a couple weeks later, after I got here, COVID hit. Yeah, and I've a bunch of people who know me already know whatever story I'm about to say. I had cancer. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, that was great. It was kind of bad. If you really think about it, it was scary. It was scary because they didn't know what it was. They didn't know where it was, and they didn't know what kind of cancer it was. And
right.
And it's not like, I mean, my family isn't rife with deaths from cancer. If anything, it's from smoking too much and heart attacks and shit. So it's like I didn't know what the hell was going to happen. So, but they found the cancer, they got rid of it, and on Thanksgiving Day, I was told that I was cancer-free. So it's like, yeah, I survived.
Good.
Now what?
Yeah.
But in a roundabout way, I was gonna do my self-publishing to begin with, but a roundabout way that propelled me to like really just like, okay, if I'm gonna die, let me at least put this out. And I'm not dead, so I'm gonna put more stuff out. So
there you
go. Great. Yay!
Yep.
I'm happy. Yay! But it's been one hell of a ride, man. From what I understand, I got a nice reception from the first book. I mean, you like it, and I really thank you for that, man. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
The pleasure's mine. I'm honored. Thank you. And now I'm just taking care of some business here and just doing what I'm trying to do as best as I possibly can. And issue 2 is just about finished. I have about maybe 5 more pages to color, and then I got to put the word balloons in. Yummy. No, because that sucks.
Yeah.
I hate that. Oh God.
Yeah, I've tried some lettering myself, and it's like, it's kind of weak.
Well,
get somebody else.
Yeah. You see, what you and I do, we use our hands in a creative way when it comes to like putting the stuff on the page. Whether it's pencil or ink or whatever it might be. You know what I'm saying? And lettering for us is an unnatural thing because that's not how we're meant to use our hands when we create. You know
Right.
what I mean? Because it's like tickety 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 tick, word balloon, tickety tickety tick. Okay, yay! I did my lettering for the day, and I'm not trying to belittle anybody who's a letterer. It's
Yeah.
just that it's a whole entire different dynamic. You know, I mean, because it's more designed. It's more design uh, oriented and like layout oriented than anything else. If you really think about it.
Yeah. There's a definite skill to it, and like I understand the logic of it, and I've even helped people throughout the years, like say, no, the lettering on this page is all wrong. You need to, focus it over here or whatever. Um, it's like I know what to do. It's just I don't want to do it.
I don't blame you. I do not
Yeah.
blame you. I mean, because it's like when I did the lettering for the first issue on mine, it was a real pain in the ass because
Yeah.
I had no idea that I had about 20 or 30 misspelled words, and 20 of them were there, Their. And I'm like, God damn it, how did I miss that? It's like, ah, and it's funny because I was an English major, so I'm like,
Right.
this is worse. I'm just like, okay, I graduated with a 4-year degree in creative writing, and here I am, I can't spell there. Oh, God, I'm looking at myself and I'm like, hey, guess what, Rich? Walmart's hiring. Go for it. Go right ahead. It's like maybe you should stop. And I'm like, God, bloody hell. But this time I have someone proofreading for me, and for the next issue, it turns out that I met a letterer here who did lettering for like Judge Dredd 2000 AD and a whole bunch of other.
Cool.
Yeah, so and he's a good friend of mine. So it's like he's gonna help me out for the lettering for issue 3 and 4, or probably for the foreseeable future. And I'm also going to do is I got to make sure that I'm going to get a colorist because I may be a decent colorist. I mean, I'm never going to say that I'm a good colorist. I may be a decent colorist and it may work for the style of art that I have, but you know what? I need to stick with whatever strengths I have, and this is
Yeah.
obviously strength. So I'm like, you know what? Just screw it. Let me just. I'll bite the bullet if I have to, which is not a problem for me because I mean, as soon as I figure everything out and after my birthday passes, which is tomorrow.
Oh, really? Happy
Yeah,
early
I know.
birthday.
Happy birthday to me. I know. What I'm going to do afterwards is just I'm just going to get a part-time job, like maybe a 25, 30-hour a week job, which you can do here in the UK. And it'll get me out of the house. That's one thing. And then I'll just do the regular stuff that I've been doing with my graphic novel, the Incantesi, and I'll just do that. And I'll finish up chapters 3 and 4 probably by April of next year. Because
Nice.
I want chapter because I did 60 pages. Oh my God, here's what I did. 60 pages penciled in ink, um colored, and in about 4 months.
Wow.
Yeah, I have not slept. I have not slept. No, I'm just serious. I barely slept. It's like if it's 3 4 hours a night, it's lucky. And it's a pain in the ass. It really is. It's like I love the project. Don't get me wrong. It's just you get burned out after a while. I mean, has that ever happened to you? I mean, have you ever gotten burned out by any of the stuff that you do?
Yeah, but it's more a result of things not going smoothly. you know,
Yeah.
um, when things aren't going smoothly, you're bound to get jammed up in one thing or another, and
Yeah.
that screws up your schedule. Therefore, it screws up your productivity, um, and that usually turns me off. Like with work and whatnot, and it becomes a little more grueling. It's like, oh, I got to get this work done, but I need to take care of bills, and it's like all the worries stuck going through your head, and you're not focused on work. Um, we got I want to mention we got a bunch of people in the chat. We got Landon, Dory, Eric, howdy everybody, welcome. They're big fans of you.
Oh God. Really? Like they could do better. They could definitely do better than me. But yeah, no, it's yeah, I'm really happy with what's going on. I mean, I just did this. I did this commission earlier today. You know, it's just it's like it's a family of four. This is actually a reward. This is actually either you can it's a perk, if you will, for the Indiegogo campaign that I have right now for Chapter 2. I mean, I already had a Kickstarter for Chapter 2, but this
Right.
one is this one I'm doing specifically because I have an Indiegogo exclusive cover, which I don't know if I've shown you. I might have, but it's definitely in the Indiegogo link that I sent you. I mean, we can talk about that later if you decide you want to, but yeah,
Yeah,
I'm running.
no, definitely.
Okay, I'm running a separate Indiegogo campaign because I know I'm getting a whole slew of extra of copies for from the Kickstarter because I also have a couple of conventions to go to in the UK. But I'm gonna have some extra, and I'm also gonna print out the Indiegogo exclusive copies and all that stuff, and it's up right now. So, and this is one of the perks.
If you want to share the campaign, my internet isn't the strongest. There's a share button below. You can go to the link and show people all the perks and pledges levels and stretch goals or whatever you got going on over there.
But let me see if I can, because the only reason why I'm hesitating is because I'm on my
iPad.
no, I'm on my phone. I'm on my phone.
Oh, phone. Okay. Give it a shot.
I don't know if I can.
I'm
going to screw this up. All right, I'm going to leave it the way it is.
Okay.
Let's see. Give me a minute. Give me.
Yeah. So while you're doing that, I'll let people know. Hey, I'm working on my own comic retro.
Yes, I want to see what's going on with yours, man. I want to hear about yours.
Yeah. It's a character I created in my late teens. I've been thinking about him throughout the years. Back in 2009 or thereabouts, I decided, okay, I've been in comics a long time. It's probably time for me to do my own book. And, I went through my challenges and whatnot, but I finally found an artist that would stick it out with me, at least for the first issue. So Rich Perotta is a friend of mine. We worked on Razor back in the 90s on a couple of things. And I asked him if he would be down to illustrate my book, and he said yes. So he penciled out the pages. I'm making it. Of course, I'm scripting it. And I'll also be coloring it because I had an initial colorist. He didn't work out. I had somebody else. They didn't work out. Blah, blah, blah.
I'm sorry.
But I did an initial funding, a really quick Kickstarter, 5 days, and got initial funding. And so when I'm finished inks, which will be this month, then I'm going to do coloring and production at the same time. And when books go to print, I'll be fulfilling those pledges first, and then I'll be doing an extended Indiegogo. So that, hopefully, fingers crossed, will be the end of this year.
Nice.
So for anybody who hasn't grabbed it already, they can get copies then. So that's why, it's like I'm working on it on this sort of, YouTube series. But once I'm finished inks, I'll probably be working on a graphic novel. I'm also working on, and yeah, I'm juggling a bunch of stuff since you don't know. And I got more books coming my way. I still very much love inking and want to do that while I also create my own books.
Yes,
I knew back when I was working at DC and Marvel that inking alone doesn't satisfy all my creative needs.
okay.
So I figured, the balance of inking for other people as well as creating my own, small publishing venture with a bunch of my own books will be a good balance. So
that's fantastic, Peter.
yeah.
That's really. Now, are you still under the moniker of Human Art Studios with this one?
Yeah, I mean Human Art Studios is my studio name. It's like that was a '90s thing. Everybody came up with their own name, and so
some use their own name. Some use their last name, and I'm like, wow, you're.
Yeah. But the comic brand will be Has Comics Dude.
Nice. I like that.
So, yeah.
I like that. That's your first title. I mean, do you plan on doing any other titles after this? Or are you going to stick with this one until you build more of an audience?
I mean, I got other artists, and there'll be other books within this sort of superhero world that I'm creating. But yeah, mostly I'll be focused on retro, and I'll ditch out the other books as I can financially handle it. But I'm gonna have other books. Like there's a book called Arena that is something that I was asked to ink a book, a web series originally. But I'm gonna be the one publishing it as a sort of an ongoing anthology. That's more like experimental, and also give me a chance to work with new artists and other creators. So that's another book, and I'll be doing a sketchbook. I've been doing this for almost 30 years. It'll be 30 years in September. Wow. And I haven't had a sketchbook. So I'll be so I'll be releasing a sketchbook, and there's a short pile of one shots I want to do, and my own graphic novels. So it may take me years to do all this, but
Look, my friend, everybody starts somewhere. I started penciling when I was at the ripe young age of 45. And it's like, I just decided that it was the right moment for me. I was just, yep, I'm good. I want to do this. And because when you get to a certain point, I mean, just like you're saying, it's like you found the itch. You wanted to do more. You wanted to self-publish. You want to write. You want to do all that other lovely jazz, which is fantastic, which is great. Yeah. And it's like you're at a point in your life where, I mean, whatever age it is, and age is not a number. Right. Whatever it might be, but the point being is that when you feel your time is right to do it, that's when your time is right to do it. And there's no timetable or anything, and only you can make that choice. And you did. Yeah. You did. And a lot of people choose not to make that choice because they're either too afraid, or they doubt themselves, or people have told them throughout the years that they can't, and they actually believe it, which is just horrible, and it's a joke, but people do that just for spite. And you tell them to go F yourselves, and this is the reason why I tell them this. What you see in front of you is the reason why I've told everybody that I've ever known to go F yourself if you don't believe in me. So yes. It's like you're taking it by the horns, my friend. And whatever, I'm not going to ask your age, and don't tell me your age because that's impolite. I shouldn't ask people anybody's age. But the truth is, the truth is that it doesn't matter what it is, as long as you get to do it, and as long as it's something that you love. It does not matter. All right, now, there's my face. Oh, God, help me. All right.
Did you want that on?
No, it's okay. I had clothes on this time, so we're good. I wasn't naked this time. There are times when I do go live, I'm naked. I don't want to say anything. But are conventions happening now in the UK? Yes, they are. As a matter of fact, there's one in Nottingham, where I live. It's going to happen at the end of August. It appears that the COVID numbers for the Delta variant are dropping. because everyone here is getting vaccinated like no one's business. And we had a surge, but now that surge is leveling off. And if there's anything to be thankful about that, it's more the kids and the young adults getting it now, and they're a lot hardier than people our age,
Right.
So it's all right. There's a much greater chance of survival, which is fantastic. I mean, there's still people dying, just really effing horrible and tragic, disgusting. And I'm not trying to make it seem like it's less than what it is, but thankfully it's not hitting 1,000 per day that it did in the UK for quite some time.
Right.
We lost over 120,000 people with a population of roughly 60 million. And if you take that and you aggregately multiply it to the equal amount of people in the United States, I mean, roundabout, there's 300 people, roundabout everything, it's 300 million people in the United States, 60 million in Britain. So that's like 1/5, right?
Right.
Now our death toll has leveled out, but it didn't level out until it got to about 120, I believe. No, more than that. I think 140. Not sure, but whatever it is, if we equaled the population of the United States, we would have more dead than the United States would.
Right.
Flat out. So, yeah, but we're having conventions. There's one in Nottingham. There's supposed to be another one in Liverpool that I'm supposed to go to. I have to go to one in Bath. I have to go to one in Derby. I'm hoping to go to one in Scotland, and then another one in Ireland, all the way up there. And then I'm going to see if I can go to one where I forgot the Cardiff. I hope there's supposed to be a convention in Cardiff, where they filmed Doctor Who. So I'm like, holy shit, I'm going to go to fucking Cardiff, and I'm going to hang out with Doctor Who. And there's a coffee shop. There's a coffee shop in downtown London that I have yet to frequent. That a friend of mine told me about. That Matt Smith frequents there all the time.
Oh, nice.
It's like, and he goes there for like trivia night or something like that. And there's a couple of bars in downtown London, where they still have cobblestones, where
Right.
Ian McKellen goes there for like karaoke or some shit. So it's like, all right, hey, it's Magneto / Gandalf is going to sing the blues, So
Sweet.
But here I am here now. You asked me to share the screen, and I am going to share the screen for.
Okay.
Let me see, where is it? Okay, boom. Okay, there we are. That's the campaign. I started it a couple of days ago. It's at 4%. Yay. So here's what I'm going to do with this one over here. I added a new tier, a commission tier. And this is like the one you're looking at now is the commission that I've done. I did this today. As a matter of fact, I did this just right before I got on the show with you, and Dory can tell you because she was there too. Yeah, let me show you what it is. You see, what I did was I took like before and after of pencils and inks.
Nice.
And you have that there. It's like, trust me, if anything, blah blah blah. This is what commissions are like. All commissions are black and white. Yeah, that's like Death Note. I just found out what the hell Death Note is. Well, the Death Note's funny because it's like, the Death guy shows up. He's there for like a minute. He kills someone, and then they wax messianic about it for another 22 minutes. I'm like, okay, great.
Yeah.
People, I'm like, people like this shit. So I was like, all right. I'm like, okay. And this is a Mermaid Mummy by my friend Richard Boone. And she has majorly gabos, and she's swimming in the ocean with mummy wrap on her. Like, okay, nice. Hey, everybody has a fetish. And this one was actually fun. This was from my friend Paula. She wanted me to draw jazz music and happiness and love. So I was like, oh, okay. So I did. I'm like, yay, there it is. And that's the other stuff. This one's a very special one for me because being here in the United Kingdom, I've after isolation was through and all that, I wound up volunteering at a school. And the teacher that asked me to volunteer at the school, her son, Oliver, has already had two major heart operations.
Mm.
And he has another 2 more to go because he's only 8 years old.
It's rough.
You know, yeah, this kid has guts and strength that I'll never have, and he's always with a smile. He's a wonderful kid. His name is Oliver Tate, and I love this kid. He's awesome. And his mother, Michaela, oh, she's a force to be reckoned with. She's so sweet. And she asked me if I could do a commission of Doctor Strange fixing Oliver's heart with the Iron Man armor. And when I gave her this, she was crying. And I'm like, oh, God, you think it sucks? And she's like, no, I love it. I love it. You know, so, you know, this one was very special for me. I love doing this one. You know,
yeah.
And now if I go here, you see what I have here now. This is just a graphic of the original cover for Chapter 2, and this is the new cover for Chapter 2. That's cool. The Indiegogo. So yes, it is. It's fun. I like it. And what you're looking at here is some of my interior art that I did for this. You know, this is just some of the stuff, some of the pages that you can sample through. You can get an idea of the story, what it's going to be like, and all this other lovely jazz. It's really cool. And
yeah, I'm
surprised that I was doing as decent as I can with it. You know, I'm introducing a couple of characters. There's a girl fight. Oh my God, girl fight. Oh my God, they're going to go after her. Oh my God. You know, and here's the introducer, like, I'm the Italian detective, and that's my lovely assistant who happens to be my wife too, blah, blah, blah. You know, whatever it might be. You know, I'm just writing a lot of nonsense, but for some reason it works. I do not know why, but it's still there. You know, because I went to school, and the one thing I knew I was going to self-publish at one point, and the one thing I wanted to do was learn how to write gooder. So that's why the classes I did for creative writing. And hey, let me get out of there because I'm certain it's gonna. Let me leave the room. Okay, good. I wanted to make sure that I was going to, if I was going to write a story, that I was going to, you know, write gooder. So I decided I went there, and I actually did a lot better than I thought that I would. You know, I passed all my classes, and I actually got something of a letter of recommendation from the head of the English department, who was also a writer for Hollywood, that he's friends with Don Cheadle. So I'm like, God damn, not bad. You know, it's.
Yeah.
I mean, well, writing is a lot like, you know, is very much the same as doing sequential art. I know one and the other are dependent on each other, but all writing really is. I mean, on my end, you know, it's like just taking the pictures and putting words to them. That's it. You know, and it's like, go ahead. Good. Well,
I was going to say, like, I was when I was in school, maybe towards the end of high school, definitely in college. Mm-hmm. You know, I got into reading books that I wasn't reading because of school, and I also got into some writing myself. So, you know, if I kept with it, I probably would have had more of a writing career. But, you know, it's like my interest changed as, you know, as I got older and got into other things, computers for a little while and different things. But it's like I see writing as not necessarily so easy, but it's something that I have a lot of fun with. And you know, people don't really know me as a writer yet. I've done a few things, but you know, retro would be really the test. But you know, it's like my brother does it. It must be easy, right?
Well, I'll tell you what. You know, the only reason why I say it, I mean, forgive me, but the only reason why I say it's easy because, I mean, using that term is a little bit loose. Forgive me. I hope I haven't insulted you by saying that. I apologize.
No.
No, I think what it is just that you know, I think I have something of a knack of taking the pictures that I'm putting down and putting them in. When I think of the story, I plot it down. I write the whole plot down, and then I do some thumbnails and then I do have, and I try and think about how the characters there would interact, and then I develop dialogue from there. And it's not it's not a thing that it's like it just shows up. It's like there's about a good 5 or 10 revisions with the script easily. I mean,
that's just the nature of writing.
Oh God,
you know, like no, I mean, I say it in the sense of like I knew like drawing took a lot of work to get better. Inking took me a lot of work to get better. I'm sure coloring will be the same way. But there's something like instinctual that comes easier with writing. And mind you, like, I don't care how easy I see writing. It's really up to the people reading the book, whether I'm any good or not, you know. We'll see that when we get there. But, you know, just from a skill kind of perspective from myself, like writing just comes easier.
Good.
And you know,
probably comes for you than it does me. You know, well, it's the truth, you know, because I need a visual aid in order for me to write. That's the thing.
Right.
I need a visual aid, and I'm lucky that I have one, and actually 2 of them if I really needed to. But you know, it's like, you know, I have a great visual aid right here. If you can write just from coming up with whatever story you have, that's a gift, Peter. You know, I mean, never worry about. I mean, from what I can tell, you know, never worry about how you get there or what you do to get there, as long as you get there. And that's the only thing that matters, man. I mean, the fact that you're doing this, look, my friend, there are so many people who give up in their 20s and 30s because they really think that they should just not bother trying. And a lot of people give up early because they think it's supposed to be the easiest thing, that it should be handed to them, because that's one thing that I've noticed a lot. It's like it's like, okay, I do this. I'm this colorist. You know, everybody on social media likes my shit. Hey, guess what? You should let me draw X-Men. And it's like, no, you're not going to draw at all. And then these people, a lot of them will, you know, flip out. It's like, what the F? Why is Marvel like this? And then they'll use every single excuse to say it's like Marvel does this or DC does that. And it's just like that. You and I, when we started doing this, Peter, we had to really bust our ass.
Yeah.
We really did. I mean, there was no joke. I mean, we had to work. Like, really work. I mean, I can only imagine how many sleepless nights you had. Probably more than me.
Yeah. It wasn't so much sleepless nights. It was, I was so... There's something that happens when you're you know, like I was 28 when I made the decision to be an inker and knew that I sucked and wanted to get better. Good. So I was on a mission for 3 or 4 years where I worked every day. And Excellent. When I wasn't working on a paid gig, I was practicing, you know, and I was so, you know, laser focused, as Tom Cruise said, that, you know, it was just a pleasure, and you know, it's like time flew by, and I was so like into, like, I was just seeing black and white in everything, and the lines and the work. I was so engrossed. Good. I wish I could do that now, but you know, it's like.
Well, you're still doing it, Peter.
Yeah, I'm still pounding away. Yeah.
Yes, you're not only are you doing it, but you see that this is the thing, you know, and it took me a couple of years to figure this out too. You know, not only are you still inking, and you're a lot better. I mean, not that you were ever bad, but I looked at some of your stuff and I'm like, fuck me, he's good. You know, I was like, God damn, this guy's good. And it's just, I look at it. And I'm like, he's good because he lasted this long doing it this long, right. You know. And it's like then you decided to start writing, even though you might have given it up before, and then you decided to pick it up again. You know, I find that really inspiring. It's the truth, you know, because I'm kind of the same way. I mean, it took me a great length of time for myself to learn how to draw. And I did, and it came a lot faster to me than I thought it would. And I think I owe inking a lot of help with that, because I have an idea of how perception is supposed to be as a result. I mean, if you just take a look at like my beloved hero Cassandra Rossi, who is the last of the Incantesi,
Mm.
the greatest, the second greatest sorcerer of all time. But I can't make her the most powerful. No, actually, I made her very powerful, but she's very raw and she's kind of losing her mind a little bit. She's kind of like Jean Grey without, the one-eyed boyfriend or something like that. You know what I mean? She's just
Right.
she's kind of like Jean Grey without the need to have a heroic end to her life. She's not going to do that. Trust me.
Right.
This is not going to be I've already said it before, and it's not a spoiler. She's not going to be the hero that everybody thinks she's going to be. It's not going to happen that way. Sorry, but she's not going to be the hero at the end. She won't be.
Well,
But
you got your own story to tell with her,
well, you know what it is? It's I don't want it to be a repeat of any type of like consistent trope that we all see in comic books. I mean, there needs to be something that's going to be a little different.
Right.
Are you still?
Oops.
You're still okay.
Is your headphones?
Go ahead.
You're,
No, I had.
I don't know if I'm. I don't know if I'm getting every word you say. It's,
Okay.
I don't know
how about now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's good. Okay. Yeah, you started blanking out.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No problem. Like with my character, Retro, it's very much a lot of what I love while I was reading comics when I was younger, like reading comics from the 60s to the 90s specifically. And so it's like I wanna throw a lot of that ingredients on my pages. But it's also my own sensibilities and it's a little more mature than you would have got back then. And there is a bigger story, and there is, roads we're going to go down that are very different than the comics I grew up on. But it's like I have, it's a love letter to that sort of era. And it's also that I see Marvel and DC nowadays, and it's like I just shake my head, like a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
How they've gone wrong. I'm loving all the comments. Let's see if I missed anything good. Then we can get back into our conversation. Let's see. Landon said, it seems like in the U.S. some places are doing cons, but a lot still aren't. Yeah, it's like I'm not sure who is and who isn't. I'm hearing little bits of information here and there. But I do know, like, people are going to conventions in the U.S. Dory says it's been an emotional day talking to Crimson Owl Comics, but otherwise rad. And yes, looking forward to more Thursday night art party. I think she watched you recently on a art gathering.
She did.
Yeah, cool. You could plug people if like shows your show and shows you've been on.
Well, I'll tell you what. The shows that I've been on, one of them, Dory invited me, and
Nice.
there was a couple of times there was one time that I was on her live show. Dory is an excellent painter. She's also incredible artist as well. She's very expressive with a lot of things. She's also a poet. She's also a singer. And Dory has many, many talents that she portrays on her show, on her page, and her YouTube channel, Labors of Love. And I'm going to be a guest on her show in another week or two, I think. And she's going to be a guest on my show at some point. So that's one. There's also my friend Russell Allen, who is doing one hell of a benefit for comicbooksforkids.org. I've been on his show, Russ Explode, Comics with Heart and whatnot and stuff like that. Who else? I've also been on the Bargain Bin with Jacobus X and Aria Black. I've been there. I've been on Sugar Pops with Chris Evans and Pops Van Sant. And I am also the co-host to the Monday Madness, where Pops and we interview artists and publishers and stuff like that. And we have one hell of a fucking good time. And man, oh man, I love hosting and I love co-hosting and I love being a guest because I'm a natural ham and I just don't shut up. That's just me. You know? But the truth is, it's the one thing that I love the fact that I've met so many really chill people, and I've come back to reacquaintance myself with other chill people. Gee, I wonder who, you know. But it's I gotta tell you, Pete. I mean, I love this. I love this very much, and I'm at a point now where it's like, if I ever do anything like this outside of what I do for my graphic novel, it has to be from one of the big two, and I need to be getting paid £200, not dollars, pounds, for a page for me, because it's like I've already gotten to that point. I feel anyway that I feel like I can cut the mustard with the big boys now, and I have been for a while. But the point being is that, like, there's nothing better than creating your own stuff, and you do that.
Yeah.
And you do. There's nothing better than that. I'm sorry, I got interrupted for a second. I was rudely interrupted.
No problem.
There's nothing better than doing your own stuff, even if it's not the big lucrative thing that everybody thinks it's going to be outside the gate. There's nothing better than that either. Nothing. You know, because it's yours, and it's like, no matter what anybody says or whatever anybody does or whatever the hell it's going to be, you know, they can never take it away from you.
Yeah,
they can never take it away from you.
No, it's a real treat to, you know, like, just create and shape and work with these characters. And, you know, I've heard other people talk about, you know, making their own characters and how they take on a life of their own. And it's so true. It's like, you know, everything steers the boat and you're just there to put it out there. It's a lot of fun.
It's truly the most rewarding thing, to be honest with you. Truly the most rewarding thing, because I never thought that I'd be able to do this.
Yeah.
This is it. This is the proof. You know, I did a little test. I will admit, this is the very first print of Incantesi that I received in the mail, and obviously it was only the first because, you know, there was a bunch of stuff I had to do, because look at the cover here. It's like thinner than the pages on the inside. I'm like, shit, why didn't I do it the right way? You know, and it's like I have a whole bunch of these pages here, and there's a lot of editing. Now, if I go over here, there's even a thing here where it's like, you see, when I read through the book, you know, I looked at it and I was just like, okay, what else should be there? And then I realized I didn't like these pages at all because they didn't do anything for me. This one and this one have been replaced. You know, and it's always good to have a proof with you to make sure that you get everything done the right way, so you can have a tangible thing to look at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And yeah, this is the very first copy of Incantesi, but I've obviously printed out some more with everything fixed, the added pages in, and stuff like that. And when you do that, you get a real feeling of ownership. You know what I mean? Like, this is yours. It's like it's yours. You know what I mean? No matter what. And it's like, for better or worse, this is something that you did. This is something you had inside you, and you did it, and it's awesome.
Yeah,
it's really awesome.
You know, it's funny. You know, we both work from all in DC, and a question I've gotten a couple of times is like, okay, so now you're going to work on your own book. Aren't you worried about, having to market it and promote it and everything?
Well, that's half the job.
Yeah, but it's also, well, when I was working from home in DC, I also marketed and promoted what I was working on because they only market and promote the top books, and I wasn't working on top books necessarily. So
well, the thing is that you see, I was doing the same thing. You and I were promoting ourselves as artists.
yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like whenever even during the times that we were working on pages when we had the salad days and everything,
Right.
we would still hustle. I would still hustle even if I had like work for the next 2 months straight. I'd still hustle to make sure that I get the work.
Yeah.
And it worked more often than it didn't, but sometimes it did not. And when you have that issue, you're like, Jesus, now I got to keep pushing this work out. So you and I, what we would do, I'm certain you did the same thing, was we would contact editors. We would see if we could send them like stuff through mail, or if we could stop by the offices back when we were able to stop by the offices.
Yep.
And we did that. But then what happened was that when we start doing our own thing, we're responsible for everything. We're responsible for the promotion and the fulfillment and the printing and the editing and the proofreading and all that other stuff. And it's what we used to do by a factor of 100. It's not an easy thing, but we did it. We did do it. Peter, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. 1 second.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, Rich, he's a great kid. Incredible artist. And glad to have him here on tonight. Bum, bum. Was that Marvel calling you?
Hey, man, no, it was me trying to just plugging in the phone because it's about to die.
Yeah, gotcha.
That's all right, though.
So, no problem.
But I'm plugged in, so I'm good. So cool. Yes, this is a page from Chapter 3. Woo! Would you mind if I showed you a few more?
Sure, by all means. Hey, let's see if I can do something better. We got whatever time you want. Okay, I know what to do. Hold on a second. Hey, I'll do this jazzio for you. So you got the main screen.
Why, thank you, sir. Just give me 1 moment. I'm just going to pick up some of these pages here.
All right.
There's a bunch of these pages that are going to have a lot of impact. And holy crap. Yeah. See, during the time that I was finishing up Chapter 2, I used my live session to draw pages for Chapter 3.
Nice.
So I've done a whole bunch. And let me see if I can get all of them here. Let me put this one on top of this one, or the bottom there. Okay. God. Oh, there's the cat. Who's not going to scratch it. Yeah, I know.
I got a bunch.
I have 3 actually. This one's Ozymandias, King of Kings. Yeah, I know. So here we are. We have this one over here. Okay, this thing. Yeah, she's at a coffee shop. She's hiding. She's running away from something. She notices a family, and she envies it. And this is what I love about storytelling. It has like the subtle nuances and all that stuff, where it's like you're trying to get the beat and you're trying to understand who the character is, as you can see here. It's like she notices.
Yeah, I love your expressions. Like they're a little more cartoony at times, but they're very expressive. I dig it.
I have to put a little bit of cartoony in there, but because it's a comic book, so it's like I have to do it in some point. I'm not like, and here's one that I will readily admit, so no one thinks that I'm doing this on purpose. I swiped from Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, on this one here, and this scene over here. Well, she saves the child from kidnapping, and she floats down, and she walks along, and she goes to the mother who sees the whole thing. There's the Superman moment, where it's like this, and then she gets up and she rises, and then she sees the crowd that's there, like right there, and now the crowd is advancing towards her. I love this shot. Look at this.
Nice.
I love that. And then you have this over here where the people are just like, who is she? Some are smiling, some are not. And then she gets to start smiling too, which is awesome. But something happens afterwards, and it's really horrifying. So here she is in the aftermath of her of what she just did. She notices what she did, and she's absolutely horrified. But I'm not going to reveal that yet. Actually, I should. So I'm going to do that now.
Okay.
All right. So here, she let out a burst of energy that was so fucking powerful that she did this. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So not intentional.
Well, no, but it's not intentional. But she did something, and but I may change that a little bit because I'm doing a couple of things also with the script that I think she's going to be a lot more malevolent and evil at that point. So and here's I just punched you in the face, and there you go, slamming against the wall. But let's see, and there's a couple more here, if I may. Yeah, these are the last two that I'm going to show you, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
This is the beginning of chapter 3, where it's like, hey, look who's here now. You're all grown up with your own little uniform, and she's like, you need to be careful. She's an experienced sorceress. She may beat you up. And this one, of course, drunken power. She's like, oh, give me a fucking break. So she uses whatever magic ability to think that she does, like she about to pummel her. But then she disappears, and she's like, wait, what? It's like, look at the expression on her face. She's like, wait, what the fuck? And of course, she's materializing. Nice. And then this one is just like, excuse me, you forgot something. Here, let me show you how to actually do it. And then all of a sudden, zap. And it's like she's being pushed through dimensions at every single scene. And it's just like zap, 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 zap. And it's like she's really effed up right there. And it's like, boom. Yes. And the other pages that are going to supersede that are going to be so dope. Oh, my God. And I'm in love with this. I mean, this is like the Incantesi is now really picking up steam because there's a lot more that's going to happen as a result of all the actions from the first 2 issues. Because the first 2 issues were to build the character and the story, establish who the quote unquote enemy is, establish who are allies, what secrets are to be revealed, what secrets are meant to be kept safe and closed, and that's pretty much it. When you read when you read all of chapter 1, and when I finish with chapter 2, I'll send you chapter 2, and you'll understand where it's like where the story in and of itself is going.
Right.
Because it's like that's the one thing I wanted to do when I decided to do this. I wanted to make sure that I get that story out of the way so I don't have to think about it anymore. And we already know who the characters are.
Right.
And we will know who the characters are. And I plan on taking that all the way to issue 12. It's going to be released quarterly, but it may be reduced quicker as a result of me having a colorist and having a letterer, because then the only thing I'll have to worry about is the story and the art, which I have. It doesn't appear I have any problem. So, as far as I know, I could definitely use some more improvement on something, but
it's looking good, and you're building up the excitement, and it's like you have to establish the sort of ground rules and characters, and before you really get deeper into what's going to happen and all that.
Oh, absolutely. I see a lot of indie books that it's like they just start off with like the heroes are like the quote unquote heroes are like the greatest killers in this known universe. That they're the most powerful beings that ever existed. It's like, oh, my character is more stronger than Superman and Dr. Manhattan. Dr. Manhattan's his bitch. And it's like, oh, this guy here, he's a better fighter than Batman. It's just like, oh, I beat Batman's ass any day. And I'm like, wow, we're not compensating for too much today, are we? It's like, I don't know. I have a whole bunch of this stuff, but I'm not going to talk about that now. I don't want to put anybody on the spot.
So Landon says, seems like right now is a very hard time to break into Marvel and DC. They are doing more firing and hiring, and things are ridiculously political. Also, they don't need to accept submissions. It's lots of things for lots of reasons. Marvel and DC, don't need to make a penny because, their movies are making money based off their IPs and, and they're choosing really weird decisions, whatever. It's like there's great people working for them and there's great books that they put out still. But I'm not reading any of it. I'm not following any of it. And people could believe whatever they want with them. I'm more about independent creators doing their own books right now. And, I see a vision of us doing better and better. Like, I know you mentioned earlier, like taking on a day job. How have you done? I mean, you don't have to get into it if you don't want to, but like, how have you done thus far with your book? And like, does it pay for itself? Because that to me is a plus.
Well, what it does for me is, see, because it's me doing everything, I wind up, it does well enough for me that I can make a comfortable living out of it. But comfortable, like barely comfortable. You know what I'm trying to say? If I do this all the time. Now, the only caveat to this is that if I had an agent or if I had someone handling the social media for me, I would do a hell of a lot better because I wouldn't have to focus on the social media or the promotion of it. Because the promotion takes time away from what you're going to create. Because, Pete, I did this drawing in like what amounts to like 2 hours.
Nice.
I could do a page of sequential art in about 4. And it's the quality that you saw with that first page that you saw. So it's like, if I had someone to help me with the social media or to promote, I'd be able to get 2 pages a day in, and this, not even that. And then a commission if I have to. This commission took me 2 hours. This commission took me 2 hours. And look at this. It's like, boom. It's like, it's crazy. I know being an inker has helped me tremendously with the art because I know because of all the training that we had to do when it comes to like dimensions and stuff like that, we've learned how to round objects out. We've learned how to bring things out. We've learned how to take the objects that we have here, give them texture, give them structure, and give everything like a foreground and a background perspective. That's what we do as inkers.
I often say, like, I could make any crappy drawing look polished.
Exactly.
It might still look like a crappy drawing, but it will have a finesse to it.
Well, you make it better, Pete. That's the thing. We both make it a lot better. There was this one guy that I worked on for Deadpool. He was absolutely fucking atrocious. I mean, just like, holy crap! I'm like, holy crap! What the hell am I going to do with this? But I did something with it to the point where they loved it so much they hired him for something else. But he chose not to bring me along with him.
Right.
And then, from what I understand, he got fired in the middle of the issue because he sucked. So it's like, oh, that's what happens, pal. But inkers are really. We've both been in the trenches for so damn long with that. Inkers are true unsung heroes of comic book publishing because there's a lot of times where guys like you and I, we save the book, we save the artist's career. We make sure that the book comes out on time, and we give it a polish that otherwise would never have if it just stayed in pencil.
I'm curious, like a little bit along the lines of what you were saying just a minute ago. Like, And how do I put this? Well, okay, I've gotten a couple of people come to me. I haven't even put a book out yet, but
Yeah.
they already want to, like, want me to put out their book, or they want me to, sort of oversee their business side of things. It's like,
Unless they're
dude, I got
paying.
a lot to learn. I got let me put out a couple of books, or let me
Well,
do this for a while. Yeah.
well, the Marvel and DC experience thing, and membership has its privileges, Pete, and it's
Right.
like, and for not so much the person is lesser ideal or lesser intelligent or anything, but it's like you have a generalized idea of what where a person works. I mean, the first thing that everybody asks me, no, the most often asked question that I've ever gotten is like, "Have you met Stan Lee?" And I'm
Right.
like, "No, never met the. I walked by him once, but that was it."
Yeah.
And it's like, you have to think of it that way. That's how they generalize, and that's how they think of it, because it's just that.
Right.
People come with a very limited knowledge, but is trying someone to do for them.
You're breaking up a little bit.
Are you there now?
Yeah.
All right. It's because they ask us because they think that we know all the answers, and it's like we don't really know all the answers. But they know less than we do, and that's why they ask us.
Yeah. But I'm also thinking along the lines, like, I do want to do something bigger than just put out my own books.
Okay.
I don't know what shape that's going to take, and I'm just worried about today and tomorrow right now. So I'm focused on my own work and other people's work, and it's like
I'm supposed to do it, Pete. That's okay.
Yeah.
I've had to turn. There's a couple of people that I'm supposed to help out, but I've had to push them to the side because of the sheer scope of what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with having to. Give me 1 second.
Sure. Adjust his.
Yeah.
Try again.
I had an echo before. Are you there?
Yeah.
How about now?
It's a little. Maybe it's okay.
Okay.
Try
it. No, it's how about now?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, good. And what happens is that we have to establish ourselves first before we can do anything, and that's what we should all say. It's like I've had to say that. I'm like, there's no possible way that I can help anybody at this point. The best thing that I would do, Pete, is just fortify yourself and do your thing. And even if it takes a couple of years, it's going to be worth the wait because you'll learn as you go.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's the plan. It's like I do want, and I've always wanted to see, like independent creators band together in some fashion and form a better industry. There is, I'm sure you're fully aware, there is Comicsgate. And there's other collectives out there. But nobody's perfect.
I'll tell you something about the collectives that are there, Pete. I don't affiliate myself with any of them, and it's okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to affiliate yourself with anybody. I mean, there was someone who put me down as Comicsgate, and I told that person under no uncertain terms that I'm not Comicsgate, but I'm not against them either because I don't care what Comicsgate does. And it's not because I don't give a shit about them as people. Right. It's just simply because it's not my business. I'm too busy trying to do my own thing. I have no animus towards anybody, nor do I have any type of avarice towards the other side of what comics are. I'm just a guy who's drawing comics, and I put myself out there as someone who gets along with everybody who does. And if anybody has a problem with me, then they can speak to me about it.
Yeah.
But, I don't care about what groups there are out there because they don't involve me. They don't involve me at all because, I one thing I definitely don't allow is politics to get into anything when it concerns my art.
Right.
You know, I mean, if I there was one time I had a live session where I had two people arguing. I mean, this is just recently that I had two people arguing on my live stream about Trumpism or Bidenism or whatever the fuck it is.
Right.
And I'm like, guys, can you not talk about that? And then they kept on going in another minute or two, and I'm like, guys, last warning,
Right.
shut up. And they didn't, so I stopped the live stream.
Yeah.
I was like, you're out. And then I made sure I blocked whoever they were. I was like, goodbye, you're done. You're done. Right. Because I put it expressive. I'm like, do not discuss politics on my live stream. Yeah. Do not insult anybody on my live stream. Do not be a racist in any way on my live stream. Because if you do, you will be gone. Because it's like this. I have no tolerance for anyone who's that stupid. No tolerance at all. If you want to talk about politics, there's plenty of Facebook pages to choose from, as well as Twitter, as well as Reddit, as well as 4chan, as well as YouTube, as every other social media thing. Don't do it on my fucking show.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm talking more in like I'm for every comic book creator out there. Like I am too. I am too. My focus and my jam. And so it's like I have like a third ear open to possibilities of, what I can do down the line when I have time to focus on it. Did I lose you? You froze? Uh-oh. I just noticed. Let's see. Did I freeze? Oh, okay. I see my clock going.
Here I am. Pete.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
Do
you see me?
Yeah. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. All right, good. Sorry about that. This phone is useless.
Okay. But you hear me, okay?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, okay, fine. No worries. Yeah, so I was just saying, like, I watch what other people do, much in the way like how I learn to ink. It's like I look at art and I learn to ink by, seeing different styles and different line work and whatnot. So I get an ear open towards, creators sort of teaming up or promoting each other or anything along those lines. And
absolutely,
it's like I don't think any one person has an answer that will work. It's just all the sort of little answers and little groups of people getting together and trying to make this because in the big scheme of things, comic books are a small niche. So I look at it that way. It's like whatever we can do to help each other out so that we're all doing a little better, and to step outside the sort of comic community as well to promote books that books aren't promoted at. And
yeah, absolutely. We try and do that as much as we can. Because and what we have to do. Well, what I think we have to do is forget about the fact that Marvel and DC exist. We're not going to beat them. And it's not a question of having to beat them, because if anything, they're beating themselves because there's so much flack from both sides of the aisle when it comes to comic books because, the quality of some of those books have been less than stellar. I mean, I'm sorry, Snowflake and Safe Space, and they're led by a girl who has a magical backpack. What? And then there's this really skinny kid who with a Barry Windsor Smith wannabe helmet on his head who inhaled deep his grandfather's internet gas.
Yeah.
Wow. It's like he's essentially fucking he's Google. They should have, instead of like calling him like Data or whatever the fuck his name is, I don't even know. I really don't know what his name is. They should just call him Google. It's like, hey, Google. Yeah. Where's Machu Picchu? Well, it's over there. That's it. That's his only thing. Come on. He's a slightly less retarded Doug Ramsey. That's all he is. It's just stupid. And oh God, the guy who wrote that, man, holy shit. Oh God. You see, that's what I love about indies, because there's better writers than him.
Yeah. Yeah. To me, Marvel and DC right now, they're multi-billion-dollar companies that were bought out by multi-billion-dollar companies that are running them, and it's no heart and soul, really, when it comes down to it. And I've seen decades of what they've been doing. And I had an inside look when I was working up there, and it's like, I know how things are run, and I know why things are run certain ways. And it's like, it's fine. It's a business to them, and it's, they won't disappear. That's the bottom line. They won't disappear, and that's good for them, whatever. Like, I love their IPs. I love their characters. I love, everything about all that. But, it's us that are doing our personal stamps of books out and putting them out. And, I want to see all of us, like, I'm sure you're aware of, now I'm going to forget his name. What is it? Who just, not Ethan, but John Meyer? Or no, I'm forgetting his last name. Who did Godlike? Just released Godlike on Indiegogo.
All right, well, let me
Malin. John Malin.
Okay.
Yeah, in his first day, he did 100,000. It's like I don't expect everybody to do that. I mean, he's had a history and years in the business and all that. Okay. But I want to see the little guys doing much better. Like,
Well, then the little guys. I mean, we can all help each other out, but it's up to the little guys who put the stuff together.
Yeah.
I didn't know that I was going to have any type of popularity with my character or my story until it went out. Luckily, I do, and it built up a little bit. It built up by like 25%, but we can always do better with that. And there's still strategies that I have to figure out. Just like everybody else. It's like if you put a good enough story out there, you will get an audience no matter what. You will.
Right.
And the only thing that you have to worry about is yourself, really, truly. As much as you can, I mean, if you want to help other people out and see if they can reach that upper echelon, then that's great. They need to have, see, when you see something like 100,000 from an Indiegogo or a Kickstarter, it's because of their longevity. All right, Brian Pulido, I can only imagine how much he made. Ethan Van Sciver, if he decides to put out another Kickstarter, he can just get another house. Yeah. He's that popular. But there's a reason why he's that popular, because he's that good, and he has a fan following, and it's like, forget about whatever Comicsgate he has. He had a huge following before this. If there was no such thing as Comicsgate, he would do just as well.
Yeah. If he never had an online voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. He would
still would do good.
Incredibly. Yeah.
He'd still be incredible. He's an incredible artist.
Yeah.
Jesus. It's like, it's how you put yourself out there, and it's how you are as an artist and how you time yourself, really.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about like all these small independent creators putting out their first books or
thank you, Salazar.
First few books is that we're all essentially creating a new business, and it takes a while for business to sort of get through the first bumpy years.
Yes,
and yeah, and that's the trick about improving the industry that's full of all these new creators. But I got a feeling there's something that maybe, hopefully, eventually I'll be a part of that, will be a positive influence on it.
Well, the way that, you already are a positive influence on it, Pete, because you already are, because you've said you've helped a couple of people already, and that's more than a lot of people do. Yeah. And you bring a wealth of experience that greatly surpasses mine. You have an idea of where everything has been, and you've been in, like I've said, just like you and me, we've both been in the trenches with this crap before. Right. We understand it, and we do all that stuff because we have to. That's who we are. We're not just artists or anything. We're here to also pass on whatever knowledge we have to give to other people who will do just as well, if not a hell of a lot better than us. And I have to really, Landon even says that you're a positive influence, Pete. You are. You've already won. It's like, to me, that's greater than any riches that anybody can get, because you have made someone's life better. That is what you have done. That's what I've done. Shit, I've done that plenty of times, but you've done it probably more than I have.
Right.
Truth to power, man.
Yeah, I got
Doritos. No, I got Cheetos. These are Cheetos. So that's what I've been shoving in my mouth for the past 20 minutes.
No problem.
Yeah,
I'm getting hungry too. So let's close out talking about your book.
Okay.
And where people can go and grab a copy, and people can find you online and all that jazz. So
okay. Well, first off, I have, like I said before, I have the Indiegogo campaign, and with your permission, I'm going to share it again. May I do that?
By all means. Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
Let me see, where the hell is it? Fart. Give me a second.
No problem.
I'm sorry. Just give me 1 sec. I just got to open up the friggin' page, because I was worried about the interwebs. I get a little nervous with the interwebs here because the Wi-Fi here is friggin' atrocious. Richard Branson is pretty much the Wi-Fi king here, and he's an idiot. I don't know how the hell this man managed to amass the amount of money that he got. He's a shack off. Okay, now rich people are not smart. Rich people are not smart. You have to understand it. Rich people are not smart. They're lucky.
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos only did what he did because his family gave him a few $1 million to waste. Trust me, he's not as brilliant, and he has a lazy eye. And if you make that much, if you make $180 billion and you can't keep your wife happy, damn.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, I don't need to make that much. I've never needed that much to keep any woman happy. So anyway, we have that. Now, once again, this is like the Incantesi. Now, if we go down to the rewards over here, or the perks, if you want, I have the exclusive cover design, which is right here. It's 13 British pounds, but you get a whole bunch of other stuff to go with it. You're going to get about 4 different prints, one of the original cover, one of the new cover. You're going to get a print of page 48, where it's the first reveal of her in full uniform, and you're also gonna get a whole bunch of stickers, which I have to let's see if I can even get one of these. Yes, here's one. I have to color them, but if we can go back here for a second, don't we have the camera? What I have here are little Chibi Incantesi stickers. We reached the goal of 3,000 quid, 3,000 pounds for the Kickstarter campaign. And I said that if we do that, I'm going to do a whole bunch of Chibi Incantesi drawings, which I have. I've done 5, and I'm going to make them into adhesive decals where every single person gets one. And there's going to be 5 lucky backers who are going to receive original pieces of art.
Very cute.
This one here, there's another 4. So there's that. But every single person, no matter what, is going to get the decals, even because I have a flexible goal and I'm going to have extra. So I'm like, here, if you decide to back it here, that's great. And I'll just be like, okay, you guys get one too. So there's a lot of quote unquote swag, but you have a lot of stuff, and the quality of the paper is so good. And I made an improvement on the cover. It's like 300 grams per square meter or something. It's really tough, and it's gorgeous. And we also have here. This is a little bit more. Where is it? Okay. That's the original cover. You have the original cover over here. It's still good. It's still the same thing. Still paperback cover. And then over here, you also have the alt cover, the hardcover copy. It's A4 size, which is kind of like letter size, 8.5 by 11.
Yeah.
The quality of this is excellent. Nice hardcover. The pages on the inside are fantastic. It's beautifully perfect bound. Really, you have to see it to believe it. It's really that good. So I also have one for that's the hardcover for that. And also this is like 18 British pounds. And I've managed to make sure that I was able to charge a lot less for the shipping. So it's definitely less than that. So we're good as far as that's concerned for the shipping.
Good.
You are spending a little bit, but you're getting everything that I'm saying and all that stuff. And if I decide to, I just may throw a few more things in there just for the sake of it. And you're getting a piece of the story that I have. And there's another reward that I have to put in here that I forgot to put in here. Because this is for chapter 2. If anybody decides they want to get chapter 1 as well. Oh, and also everybody gets a digital copy of issues 1 and 2 right away. So what I have to do is I have to put in a tier that, a perk, quote unquote. If you want the hardcover and if you want the soft cover of 1 and 2, if you've never seen it before, I'm going to charge 20 British pounds for 2 issues. So it's going to be a £6 reduction of price with the same amount of postage. So, if you decide you want to do that, it's the first time you've seen it, then yeah, you have the option of doing that. The same thing for chapter 2, same thing for the hardcover, where it's going to be a little bit more expensive. I have to figure out the price, but it's going to be a lot less expensive than if you got it's going to be a lot less expensive aggregately if you decide to just get the one cover and if you've never seen the book before. Now, if we go down here a little bit, these are the A3 size commissions. Now, the A3 size is similar to tabloid size, like the comic book page size that you and I work on, 11 by 17. But in the United Kingdom, it's 11 3/4 by 16.5. So what I do a lot of times is I trim it, or I just leave it, and then you're still able to fit it in there. But a lot of times I just trim it because sometimes they have frames that are just right to the edge. Yeah, the art that I showed you before with the commissions, this is the quality that you get with every commission. And you just saw me finish one. So, and it's not bad for 70 British pounds. It's actually very good for 70 British pounds because I'm including a very small fee for the postage, which I will have to cover the rest of it. Because it's I asked for £5 for assistance for postage. And for me to send an A3 fully packaged and everything, that's a good 12, 13 pounds easy. So I'm going to eat some of that. And that's the truth. But I don't mind doing that because I want everybody to get the work. I want everybody to see what I'm able to do. And the one thing that I have of huge value is I have the original art for the alternate cover right here, if I can get it. Is it even there? Can I even do it? Is it even possible? I hope I didn't screw it up. Okay. No, that's okay. I got to go back. No, I didn't buy it. Okay. I didn't want to buy it because I already have it. Holy shit. But let me get to that point again. Yeah, I have the original cover art. I also have a couple of other pieces of artwork, but I'm probably going to hold on to those. I mean, I could sell the art for issue 3, but issue 3 is not even close to being out yet. So no, I'm not going to do that. Right. But yeah, this is a lower no frills version of the campaign that I had before. So, and it's really just to launch. It was really just to launch the alternate cover for this. There's that. And if it sells whatever it is, then it does. If it doesn't, we'll figure something else out. But this one's really just to sell the extra stock that I'm going to have, because with the money that was backed for my project, I have enough to print quite a bit of amount. And I'm going to need it anyway because I have the convention in Nottingham, Liverpool, Bath, Derby. I got to go all over the British Isle in order to do this. But I'm just happy that cons are back. So I'm like, hey, but that's just all the extra stuff that I'm gonna have. So it's like it's either that or start an Etsy store, which I'll probably start at another point or something like that. But yeah, but that's what I have right now for my Indiegogo. It's a short campaign. It's only gonna last another 2 weeks.
Okay.
And it's there. It's a flexible goal. So if I make like 600 quid out of the whole thing, I'll still get it, which is fantastic, and everybody will get their stuff. Papa needs a brand new bag, and he needs a new computer and a couple other things too. But you know what it is. It is. But that I'll handle with whatever part-time job I have, because that's there to take care of a lot of other things too. But
yeah,
that's what I have. That's what I have right now.
Awesome. Yeah. Everybody should go check out the campaign, share it out, pledge if you want a copy of the book, some artwork. All that. Just I really like what you're doing, and I want to see you super succeed.
So far so good. Good. The first campaign did 2,500. The second campaign did 3,200.
Yeah.
So
excellent.
Yeah. And I launched that campaign in the middle of like the dog days of summer. So
Right.
it's like, if it was gonna, and I got 15 more backers than I did the last time for the first campaign, and I made an extra 700 quid. And again, this is like during like the doldrum days where you really shouldn't be launching a campaign around this time.
Yeah.
And and I did it, and it's all me. So not bad. Not bad at all. Not bad at all.
There's the link in the chat. There's also the link below the video and some other links for Rich for you to go follow his YouTube channel, your Twitter, anything I missed.
Do me one favor? Can you do me one favor? There's one favor. I'm going to put in the private chat.
Okay.
See if I can get it. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
I'm going to sign off first. If you want to stay on for another minute or two, I suggest you do, because if you could do me a big favor, and everybody who's in this chat who hasn't received it already, can you give them the digital copy of Incantesi #1? I'd like everyone to have one, just so we know, so you know what you're getting. So it's now in the private chat.
You sure you want me to do that? Because the video will be up forever. And
you could take. Well, here's what it is. You could take it off. You could
delete it after.
Yeah, delete it after. Whoever's here, delete the private chat, and whoever's here after delete the private chat.
That will work.
Then you just go. You don't have to show anybody who's there and whatnot. Blah blah blah. They might have looked at it for a second, but I'd love to see them try and copy that code that was just there. So if you can do me a big favor after I get off, stay on for a couple of minutes, go into your private chat, copy it, and give it to everybody here, because I want everybody to see what the hell they're getting if they decide to back my project. If they're on the fence of it, I want everybody to see what it is, because it's a fucking good story. The art's fantastic in there, and I want all of you to see it. So if you can do that for me, Pete, I'd love you forever. I might even make you pizza. Thank you.
Oh, awesome.
Yes. Pete,
well, thank you so much for coming on. Yeah.
Well, thank you for having me here. Thank you for having me here, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're welcome anytime.
Same with you. I would love it if you could. I would love it if you showed up on my show, because I want everybody to know, everybody that I know to know who you are too, because you're an exceptional human being. You're a good man, and I really appreciate you having me here. No, well, it's earned, Pete. Decided to pop me on here, so thanks, man. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate everybody out there in comic book land. And I bid you a further adieu, and we will speak again soon.
Okay, excellent.
All right, man.
Thank you so much. All right.
Yes, sir.
Take care.
Have a good one.
You too. All right, cool. So Salazar says you can't click on it. Well, you don't. Just copy, paste, and go to that link, and that will give you a PDF of issue 1, and I'll erase that. So I'll give people 10-15 minutes. So everybody in the chat that's here, That's your free exclusive that Rich has been so kind to give to you all, so you can read it at your own leisure and check out the gorgeous artwork and the great work he's put into the first issue of his book. And then having read that, you might feel more inclined to go grab a copy of the second issue and really support his work. So that was very kind of him. And yeah, we'll see how that works out. And I will definitely go on his show at some point. Right now, I'll probably schedule my week out on Monday and Tuesday. I got people that will be coming on next week. But tomorrow we have Elliot Rodriguez in the evening. Will be coming on. Fantastic artist, and really excited to be talking to him. Then Sunday night, I have a draw stream too. And yeah, I'm not sure what random people will be showing up then. Landon, if you're not doing anything, come on then. I also want to have you on for a one-on-one episode. If you're not here, then I'll talk to you afterwards at some point. But I got to get going. I'm starving. Got to eat a late lunch. But give this video a like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Yeah, just keep making your own comics and art and writing stories and